You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
What you talking about?
If that nigga won't war, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bought it. U.P.K, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm about it. U.P.K shoot solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All the hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walk around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the shawty and I show her. She could never get a priest hold. You a dirt ass, rust that neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. And a sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bitch muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't war, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. U.P.K shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't nothing to me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a big one. And you squirm off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. U.P.K play for keys, nigga. Commander General get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I was stuck in his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. They got popped off for a net. If that nigga won't want, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. U.P.K shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stress by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Backstage.
You, boy. You know what time it is, nigga.
Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my nigga.
Many yo. Got my nigga Rawan with me.
But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor.
You know what I'm saying?
Under commanding General YAHANNA. It'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Y'all know they can't stand us, but we U.P.K, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If dap and then hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves. Shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm on this for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Mother Ra, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a crippling. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I'll tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, sin and curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind fail. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like Van Pelt. But ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death do us part. No. So how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In pump smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, it's all I don't. Either fold or salute, my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she leaving, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and clap it up. Shalom, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. The Friday night Lashawan Qadash class, we break down the scriptures from a linguistic perspective. We're going to get into this I mean, as you already know, we do our Sabbath service every Saturday morning. Tonight we're gonna be going over what we're gonna be going over during Sabbath service as we usually do. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be a Bible hub tonight. First, we're gonna do a quick review because you know what I mean. As we've been learning over the past couple months, you know what I mean. We've been kind of going over the 4 steps of how to break down any Hebrew phrase. So, of course, you got your root word. You're going to be able to isolate your root word. That's how you're going to build your vocabulary. And the goal, like we talked about last week, the goal is to, at the end of the day, be able to have a conversation with you. So, vocabulary is going to be important. You're not going to be able to talk to one another if you don't know, if you don't have a vocabulary. You know what I mean? So, as we going through the Lashawan Qadash, let's pay attention to the root words and what they mean and how can I use this? You know what I mean? And so that's one of the 4 steps. Again, these 4 steps are in no particular order. You might see any of these things in any order. You know what I mean? And a couple of them might appear more than once, depending on the phrase. So just keep that in mind. They're not in any particular order, but they're all as important, equally important for you to understand the phrase, and for you to understand how to use the Hebrew with one another. All right, so you got your root word, typically only 2 to 3 characters. Or you might have in some rare cases, you might have a root word that has only 2 characters, or you might see a root word that might have 4, or you might see a root word that has more than that. It's very rare, but you might see it. But typically, it's just 2 to 3 characters, and that's what you want to build your foundation on. Is knowing that your root word has 2 to 3 characters. So anything after or anything outside of the root word is going to be a preposition if it comes at the beginning of the word, or a possessive if it comes at the end of the word. All right, remember, we read from right to left. So remember, this will be the beginning, and this will be the end of the word or the phrase. And then tenses are going to be the last thing. So we went over prepositions the last, I think, 2 weeks ago, and then we finished off with the prepositions and then went into possessors last week. We went over tenses, right? Like, so real quick, let's go over a couple of them. Let's see, we're going to mark there. Might keep on a good mark going. All right. All right, no sweat. So real quick, so we got our next. What you got? What we got in our notes? Or what are some of the tenses that we're looking at? Into the mic.
Servile tense.
So servile tense. What would be some servile tense there? First of all, where would you find servile tense in the word? Begin, middle, end. Where would you find it at? And if you don't have this in your notes, it would behoove you to put it in your notes, because again, that's the foundation. And tonight it's gonna be kind of a little bit more fast paced, because one, we went over the puzzle pieces, like the prepositions. We went over them in depth, and they're right here, so you can always reference them. If you don't have them in your notes, you should have them in your notes. Same with possessive. They're up here if you need to reference them. If you don't have them in your notes, and if you need to put them in your notes, they're up here for you to copy down. And then the tenses, all of those are building blocks for us to be able to understand the Lashawan Qadash. All right, so it's going to be a little bit more fast paced, because we're not going to spend too much time on the tedious details we did last week, because we should already have them. We're just going to be using what we have in our notes. Does that make sense? All right, so we got some of the servile tenses. You want to give it a shot? Here goes the mic.
What are they, or you want to use the compound?
So, where the servile tenses are usually found at?
What are the servile tenses usually found in the beginning? At the end, at the end.
At
So like,
the end.
so like at the end.
Exactly right. You'll find your servile tenses attached to the end of the word. So what are some of the servile tenses real quick? Go ahead.
Wow.
Why? One. What are you on? Give
The other one would be
ha. And then
last one would probably be ha.
So those are your three servile tenses. All right. What's another tense? Example of a tense. So what other servile? Ha, tha, and wa. What else? Let's go pluralization. I want to touch on that real quick because what are some of you have something?
I was going to touch on the plural, see the full tenses that we have.
Okay, most likely first. Go ahead.
The first one is yum.
Yum, right?
Tha. Wa.
Wa. And it's important. I wanted to go into that because tha and wa are also part of the servile tense. So how would you know the difference between a servile tense and a feminine or servile tense and a plural tense? It's real easy. It's how you understand anything in the Bible. And your Christian pastor hates this word, but it's how you understand anything in the Bible. What did you say?
The context of the word being used.
Context. That's all you need. Context. So you might see a waf at the end of a word. So, okay, to figure out, okay, is this plural or is this talking about servile? Look at the context of how the word is being used, what's being said. If you, you know what I mean? That'll give it to you. A lot of times, like that waf will be behind a thing. If it's plural, like karab is sword, karab waf is sword, plural, right? Sword is an object. So a lot of times that's a dead giveaway, but all in all, point being, you know the difference based on context. All right, what's the next one? So we got plural, we got servile, what else?
We also have once they have Y, which could be used in the middle to represent doing.
Damn right. Doing tense. That's going to be exactly what he just said. A Y in the middle is going to be doing, right? A lot of times brothers will get the Y confused at the beginning because the Y in the beginning means something totally different. A Y in the middle means something totally different. And the Y at the end means something totally different, right? So that's something you want to definitely pay attention to. But again, with repetition, it's something you probably don't even think about anymore. Like when you see a Y, you probably don't, like depending on where it is, since we went over the prepositions and possessives, you know what I mean? You know prepositions come at the beginning. So a Y at the beginning is a preposition. A preposition. A Y at the end is a possessive, and it means something totally different. Here it is, right? And then a Y in the middle, like the brother just said, is a doing tense, right? What else? So we just went over doing tense. We leaving anything out? Sloppy, go ahead.
So like about which I could, feminine and masculine, they come with the servile.
Yeah. For the most part, it'll be encompassed in the servile. So if it's usually if something's feminine or being made feminine, you might see waf or you'll see watha or ha at the end because the sisters serve the nation. But you might have like I serve somebody. So you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It depends. Like if a servant in the scriptures, if a servant is talking to the higher ranking officer, like for example, Christ outranked all the disciples. So if you know what I mean, Peter, you know what I mean, he was Christ. Christ told him, he said that he was gonna build his you know what I mean, he was gonna build the schools on him, right? So he made him the head after, you know what I mean, after he would pass. So if Peter, even though he's the number 2, if he's talking to Christ, you might see a lot of servile tense. Or if you're just trying to humble yourself, like if you're coming humbly, like how we went over Baba Prashad. That's just you coming humbly. You know what I mean? You're lowering yourself as to, you know what I mean, because you're requesting something. So you're lowering yourself. Right? So things like that. So that would be so you will see a lot behind, you'll almost always see it behind feminine, but you might see it behind something masculine as well. So again, context. You'll know the difference based on context. As always, you know what I mean, if you got any questions, I forgot to say earlier, if you got any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. And if they don't get addressed in class live, what I'll do is just go back into the comments and I'll just answer your question in the comments. And you should get a notification in your phone with the answer to whatever question you got. So if you got any questions, if you're watching online, then, you know what I mean, do so. And then we'll get to them. I'll get to them within the day at least. You know what I mean? What else? So we went over. All right, what else we got? What else? We missing anything? Go ahead.
Category.
Category. I'm glad you said that because I was just about to say that. That's not servile, plural. Plural, and it's plural because like fathers is the perfect example because like in the creation, like we're about to go into Genesis here in a little bit. You're gonna see like during the creation, you'll see that character thought behind the things that the Most High is creating, because when he gave the order to the angels to create, you know what I mean, birds, he created categories of birds, several different types of birds. I mean, when he created the fish, he said he created several different categories of fish. Where when it says the birds and the fish and all that, things like that, the animals, you might see a thought at the end of it, the character thought at the end of a word to indicate several different types, right? Just like at the end of fathers. I mean, father is Abba. Fathers would be Abba Yom. Fathers will be Abba because of categories. There you have different types of fathers. You have father, grandfather, great grandfather. You have forefathers. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. That's excellent though. Categories. It will fall under pluralization, but it's something that you just got to look out for. Whenever you see a thought, use this pluralization. It's talking about categories. All right. What else? What else you got? And I'm running through this just to make sure you got it in your notes. All right. We went over it a couple of days ago, so we just refreshing before we get into the Bible book. I think that might be it. For that, that's not all. We're gonna run into some things though, and as we run into them, you can just write them down in your notes and add it to your tenses. All right. So last week, before we move on, I just want to use this as an example of how we're gonna be breaking this down. I'm gonna have y'all do what we was doing. Have y'all come up here, write down the phrase, and then break it down, because that's how you read. You're gonna read it by breaking it down and knowing how to pronounce it. All right, so we left off with the Most High creating the earth, you know what I mean, and things on the earth, and the heavens and the earth and all of that. So we left off on the part where the Most High separated the water from the land, right? So we left off right here. We left off right here where it says Hashemayim Wa'ah Arakaza. All right. So this is a preposition meaning the, right? The. Shemayim just means heavens, like you the heavens. Wa'ah is an and. And this is just that conjunctional phrase. It doesn't have a definition, but it's used to connect two things. All right. So whenever you see I, remember we was talking about last week. Whenever you see I, and it doesn't mean you. It's not meant to say you. You pronounce it I. Now, when you see an I and a tha next to it, or next to each other, and the translation says you, or based on the context, we're talking about you or somebody who you're talking to, then it means you, and it's pronounced a tha, you, right? But in this case, it's just I used to connect one thing to another. And then here, ha, which means the, and arataza. Arataza is earth, all right? So, the heaven, Hashemayim, Wa'ath, Ha'arataza, the heavens and the earth. All right. And all of these phrases is going to use, again, one of these, or slack here. All of these phrases, we're going to be breaking it down using these 4 steps. All right, so let's go to Genesis chapter 2, starting at verse 19. All right, we're going to get through as much of this as possible. You know what I mean, as we go through it, if you got any questions as we go, please do ask. And, you know what I mean, we'll get them answered for you. That's the whole point. So that when you go into Sabbath service, you're prepared and you're more prepared and you're more confident when you go up to read. All right. I'm gonna leave it at that. But that's the whole point. So if you got any questions as we go ahead and write it. You know what I mean, put it in the chat, or if you've got any questions in the room about anything we're about to go over, just go ahead and do your thing like you've been doing. Get there with you. All right. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 19. All right. One of y'all brothers want to come up here and let's take the first 4. I think you should be able to pick 4 up there. Make sure you write clear and legible so that the people online can see. It's locked in. Again, I took the good markers on, so I got it perfect. Locked. What's up? You had a question?
I don't know what to do.
Oh, you don't have to write the names of the characters. You just gonna say them at the end, but just write the phrase. Just write the phrase, and then we're gonna break it down how we did last week. But you ain't gotta write this part right here. We'll just say it as we before we break it down. And there's some ice over here as well. I know it's burning up to read. But brothers need some ice and some water. You know what I mean? Feel free to take care of your business. Or you got the next phrase? But we're gonna do the first four phrase.
Right underneath each other, or what?
What's that?
Right underneath, I'm kind of thinking of the hour.
Yeah, you can write it underneath if you need. As a matter of fact, just write that one and then the next one after that, and then we're gonna break it down just to save room. And then just leave some space so we can break it down as well. So like, oh no, you all good. Alright, so let's stand on this side. So what we looking at here? Let's what character is this?
Bob, Ya, Sa, Wa.
Alright. And then
Ya, Ha, and Wa, Ya, Ha. There's Ha, La, Ha, Ya, Sa. Which one is that? It has Ma.
All right. All right. So again, what we tackling right now by doing this is we're working on penmanship. We're working on being able to identify the characters, and we're also going to break it down. All right. So we can read it, and then saying it out loud. Now we're learning how to speak it. So if we do this over and over again, week by week, you know what I mean, day by day, every class, if you get in the habit of just opening up Bible Hub and reading it on your own and doing this, you're going to be learning all four of those components at the same time. And before you know it, we're going to be able to read, write, and speak the Hebrew. And that's how you take your culture back. All right. So, okay, so what's going on in this word? What's the first thing you see?
It's 4 characters.
Which means
so we have a root word in there.
We got a root word.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from the root word, because you know a root word is 2 to 3 characters, and that means there has to be one of these in there. All right. What you should automatically select it. What you should automatically know when you see a root word that has, you know what I mean, that's 4 or more characters. All right. So we a Bible Hub, so we got the advantage to do. We got the advantage to use Bible Hub to our advantage. So what's the first thing you should do? Right off the rip. And this is again how you go build your vocabulary.
First thing we do is identify the root word.
And how you gonna do that?
I'm looking at Bible Hub and you give me the origin of the word.
By doing what?
Looking at it over the concordance.
Concordance code.
Concordance code.
Yeah, I'm right.
So by doing that, I know this is Y, which is a preposition. Right? And then these right here is my root words. I like everybody out here.
All right.
That's a ride. Ride to Zara.
You forget one thing.
Forget that?
In the root word, how do you pronounce a root word? If you got 3 characters, how can I say it?
You take the RL, right? Khan?
So what do we got left?
Yatazara. Yatazara.
You erase the A, but you still pronounce it. Take the I sound.
Yatazara.
Yatazar.
Oh, I got you. Yatazara. Yatazara.
So how would you pronounce this phrase?
Why Yatazara?
I'm right, these up there. Why Yatazar?
I can see that. I ain't going to say that right.
Yeah, that's the key. Once you let go of that I sound, and just put it together, then you'll be able to identify, or you'll be able to just know how to pronounce the phrase.
Roll it up your tongue. Then.
Yeah. It's like why Yatazar. And then once you get into more complicated phrases, which we are tonight, you're gonna be able to. It's gonna be so satisfying when you like read these. It's like 10 character phrases, and you just break it down and you just pronounce it fluently. Like that's gonna happen tonight. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be so satisfying when it finally does happen. Like when you actually are able to do it. All right, the next one should be real easy, right?
Okay, so this was Yah.
Yeah, I got it right there.
All right, so Yah and Ha.
Yeah.
And Ha. And Wah.
So put it all together.
Yah. 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 Yahweh.
God, which is what?
God.
Which no, not God. That is not God.
Yahweh.
Because God just means power. It means
Most High.
the Most High power. That's of course. So the Most High, that's the Most High's name. Yahweh. All right. And then this last part.
Next one would be I. It would be I. Yeah.
All right. So what's the first thing you recognize? How would you break this down?
I will find the root word, which is the whole word is the root word. It's a word. The whole thing's a word.
But this you can break it down further. And this is where okay, so a lot of times when we're reading, like when we're in Lashawan Qadash class, you can hit the concordance code and go to break it down all of that. But when you're reading a Sabbath service, you won't always be able to do that, or you're not going to be able to do that because we're going to be reading and we're going to be rehearsing the righteous acts. So you're not going to be able to do what you can do here. So a strategy that I use is I'll just pick something that stands out. Like we went over the tenses, right? And we went over plural tense. This word has a plural tense. Young is the most common plural tense. So anytime you see young, you can almost guarantee that that's plural. That young is plural, meaning, so like earlier you said Yahweh was God. That's not. We said God is power. So how would you say power in the Hebrew? Wait, what did you say?
Yum.
La, no, power. How would you say power?
So Allah.
Allah. That's how you say power in the Hebrew. Now, Allah Hayyam is powers. Powers. This is a serve-out tense behind Allah. So these powers, which are plural, serve the Most High, who is Yahweh. So, and what you'll notice is a lot of times, like in the Old Testament, you'll see Allah Hayom. Allah Hayom. Like when it says God created the heaven and earth, it'll say Allah Hayom created the heaven and earth. It means the powers created the heaven and earth. But you see the Most High's name because he's like I think I broke this down a couple days ago. He's actually he's involved in all creation, but he's actually directly involved in this creation. Like the angels created the heavens and earths, and they separate the water from the waters and the land from the sea and all of that. But what's about to happen now is going to be spiritual. What's about to happen now, the Most High is going to do this. All right? All right, so, give yourself a hand. What's that first? All right, come on, brother. I need to erase this and try to squeeze out. Yeah. You want to start right there or you keep going? Just make sure you get some space to break it down, though.
Because that first word is that manna.
Nah. Man. No, you good. It's good.
That's what I figured.
All right, we'll stop with that last one. All right, so what we looking at right here? La'a. It comes at the end of the word.
But it's
Yeah.
so it'll be not.
And it looks like that because it's at the end of the word. All right.
Ma.
Right. Oh, it's like you stand on that level. You said it looked like what?
What?
It looks like a rock. It's not a rock.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna point that out in a second. So it's not a rock.
No.
It'll be a dot.
Yeah,
Now, why does this look like a rock?
You got it ground.
Because, like you said, it's round and it doesn't have that indentation. So when you're working on a penmanship, you want to just make sure you make those those little distinctions very clear, and just so you can identify, because it's a lot of words, or it's a lot of characters that look the same. So especially when you first starting off, you want to make sure you're being very deliberate in how you write your penmanship. So let me see that pen. So instead of I know we be writing fast. Like once you get comfortable with the penmanship, and I see y'all get more and more comfortable. But as you get comfortable, just make sure you keep in mind those distinctions as well, so you don't confuse yourself. That dot is always going to have that extra little thing at the end of it. All right. All right. The next character.
You be a mock. I think I read it. No.
Oh wait, there's a mod.
I wrote it wrong.
Yeah, yeah. You know how to fix it. All right, then what we got?
Ka. La. Ka. Ya. Ka.
Stop.
Stop.
You know to be ka. Shop. Brown.
La.
Da. Ha.
Now you know how to fix that one, right? You just put up. So it's just you just want to because if you curve it, it's gonna look like a whole different character. You just want to put that extra, that little extra piece on the end, like a 7 with a little extra little extension on that. All right, most high price. All right, so we're gonna put this all together. So we got a phrase right here, phrase, phrase. All right. So what we looking at? We already went over the first part. Also, asked the question. You remember what it was? The first character or the first phrase. Like. First thing when you look at it, what do you notice? Before we even
On the phrase, they have more than
the phrase.
Well, it's on the 2 characters. It's on the root word.
Right, just a root word meaning what? You know how to find it on Bible, right? Right. And what does it tell you? For the first person? Genesis 2:19. White Fly, you got anything?
I'm sorry. The word is more why.
La. You click the cornerstone. It'll help you out. No, you back in.
Kind of from.
That's what you look for. From.
You say
Okay, no sweat. Here you go. You can but it's not a why.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah.
Nah.
And that's important. That's why this, like, what we do it, right in the penmanship, you can see how important it is to, like, make those distinctions. Because it's easy, especially, like, depending on the type of phone you got, it's easy to confuse a knot because you don't really see those often because they're different at when they come at the end. And if you don't have an eye for it, if you're not looking out for it, being careful about it, it's easy to confuse it as a Y. But this is how would you I'm gonna write it down how you write it, right? So you write ma and then na. And then you drop that asa. How you pronounce it? We're not speaking it like English. So how you said it the first time? Okay, nah. All right.
Yeah, I was thinking, nah.
Yeah, that I has to go.
Yeah, it's like,
You wanna give it a shot? That's all it is. Man. Abagada hawaza. Man. And you just, once you drop that I sound at the end, you put it together. Man. Right? Right? Means from or out of. I mean, that's how it's used in this concept. Right? The Most High has taken something out of something. Right? I believe this is the part where, well, we'll get to it. All right, what's the so what we got next? So this is man, right? Meaning from or out of, without of. What's the first thing you know?
I know
Off the rip.
Something the phrase?
Yeah, off the after looking at the
phrase.
phrase.
So it's gonna be you don't have to break it down. So possession, you don't have to possession.
Right.
Or either preposition.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, where would you go next?
So I automatically begin with preposition, which is pop.
Right. And so for the camera, and this is how you go teach as well. Just because I used to do this as well. Like I would like teach, but I'll be like teaching like this, and I'll be blocking the camera. So once you start to teach, you'll have to remember that as well. Stand off, and you know what I mean. Make sure the people who you're teaching can see, right? Because right now, as you're reading and breaking it down, you're teaching yourself. So in a sense, you're learning the penmanship, you're learning the characters, you're building your vocabulary by learning these root words, and you're also by teaching yourself, you're learning how to teach others. Right? Like the scripture said, before you can become a teacher, you have to be taught first. So as you're learning subconsciously how to teach. All right. So the ha means it means what? The either one. You know what I mean? Both of them are correct. What else we got?
We have possessive.
Possessive. All right. So which would be what? Right.
Her.
Or what else could it be? Matter of fact, you might get Genesis chapter 2 and 19 real quick, just reading it in English. This gonna give us, Genesis chapter 2 and verse 19. This gonna give us context, because on what we was talking about earlier, a lot of these possessors and tenses are the different tenses. They can mean different things depending on where they are or what the context is. So we're gonna get a little bit of context. Yeah, in the English. You got the mic.
Book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 19. Book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 19. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he will call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature that was named thereof.
All right, so that's the context right there. So we're talking about out of the dust, the Lord formed every beast of the field. All right, or go ahead, real or select. So okay, so out of the in the English it says and out of the ground, right? So we got out of, we got the, so practical. Just think of practical. What was that? And you know that by going to, you go to the concordance code and is it working out? Click that concordance code and it's going to tell you where the ground of the land. So out of the ground and of the land, right? The word here is, so what's this character? Ah. The next one? Da. Da. Next one? Ma. Ma. And ha. And a ha. And a ha. You drop that ha sound at the end. So you drop that ah sound at the end, so it would be adama ha. It would be adama, which means ground or land. Right? So out of the ground. All right. Then the next one. All right. Oh, you got it. What's that? No. Put it together. No. Say that again. No. La. Kala. La. You drop that la. Call. This is gonna be a word that's gonna become sight word, right? Now as you take notes, as you in class, as you reading, you building your vocabulary by going to these root words, clicking on that concordance code, and it's gonna give you the root word. That's how you're gonna build your vocabulary. And you know what I mean, being a Sabbath service, being in Lashawan Qadash class, you're gonna be reading these words, and some of them are just gonna come up over and over and over again. This is one of those words that's going to eventually, over time, become, you know what I mean, repetitious to you, to where you commit it to memory. Call every single time you see it, it's going to be the same thing. All right. So you got the concordance code? My fault about the dumb. Oh, you got it already? Okay, most time Christ. What you got? Oh, okay, no sweat. All right, so no sweat. So call just means all, right? All, everything. You know what I mean? We're talking about, you know what I mean, things like that. All. It's always going to be all, everything, the whole thing, right? Then you got sa, ya, ta, right? 3 characters meaning what? It's a root word meaning right? All living, all living things, all beasts. In the English, it says beasts, right? That's what it's referred to. All things living. And then the next one, ha, da, ha, right? All right, so first thing, again, we're using the same 4 steps, same 4-step formula. So what do we notice off the rip? 4 characters.
So we'll have to break it down preposition and lesson.
That means there's a root word and something attached to the root word. All right. So what we got?
We have the preposition
I'm right. Which needs 3 characters, which means you can right. We can automatically assume that this is a root word. You hit that concordance code, and it's gonna give it to you. Or the field. That's what it says in the English. Shaddai. So you want to read this? So based on how we just broke this down. So in the English.
Out of the ground.
Salaki, in the Hebrew. Salaki, I'm sure. In the Hebrew. Don't forget to connect it with Ma. No. Ma. No. When you connect it, you drop that asan on that knot. So Ma. Abagada. Man. Right? Man. Ha. Adama. Adama. Man Adama. Out of the dust, out of the ground. Adama. Call. So Adama. Call. Ya. Da. You drop that at the end. Sa, ya, and ta becomes sa, ya. Sa, ya. Man, adama, ka, sa, ya. Ha, shada. Ha, shada. Man, ha, adama, ka, sa, ya. Ashada. In the English, we said out of the ground, all living, like all beasts or all living in the field. All right, we're gonna do let's do the next one. Here's something here. I'm right. All right, you all good, but I'm a little. All right. All right. So, all right. This next part. All right. So what we got right here? What? Ta. Wa, and ta. All right. Now, just for you know what I mean, to make it simple. All right. We kind of went over this earlier. It's and ta. All right. Whenever you see and ta, if you got the Bible Hub in front of you, if it doesn't say you under that, it's pronounced ah. Ah. I mean, it's just one of those things that you do have to get. You just gotta get used to. Ah. It's a word that you're gonna use often. Or it's not a. It's gonna be it's gonna be a phrase that you're gonna see often, and it's just the phrase that. Well, before I give it to you, remember what I said about it earlier? Ah. You gonna say it in the mic?
Kind of. I know you mentioned it a couple times. I think you said it's like a buffer.
It's not quite a buffer. It's a connector. So it just connects one thing to another thing. So when you see you're just connecting whatever came before it to the thing that's going to come after it. All right. If you look at the concordance, it's not going to have a definition. It's just use the joint two things. All right. And whenever you see it, if it doesn't say you underneath, it's always going to be pronounced ah. Now, if you see you underneath it, it's going to be a thug, because a thug means you. So it's going to be pronounced different based on the context. So, wa'at, right? Next phrase, we just saw this one. Meaning what? It means what?
All?
Means all. Means all. All right? Now this phrase right here should be real easy. Or real easy to break this down, at least. Right? So, what character is this? I see why you said that though. They look I. The I looks like a tazah, but it looks similar, but there's some subtle differences. So your tazah, you look like this when it's at the beginning of the word, and then it looks like a backwards Y. You know what I mean? For lack of better, explanation. But this is what it that's just how you tell the difference. That's an I. All right. What we got right here? Y. And then the last character? Pa. All right. Now, what's the first thing you notice about this phrase right here? Same formula. You said, say that one more.
Common finds a root word.
And why you know it's a root word? I think you just said it. Go ahead and say it in the mic.
See how many characters it has in the phrase.
Right, so it has 2 to 3 characters. So off the root, you know it's a root word that stands alone. All right. So how would you pronounce it? Or how would you pronounce this before we get into the concordance? So I, wa, and pa. How would you pronounce this correctly? These are just the names of the characters. I, wa, and pa. Now, when you put it together, how would you pronounce it? How would you pronounce it correctly? Give yourself a hand. Give her a hand. That's all you doing. You just dropping off that I sound and connecting these last 2 characters. You we was looking at the ancient Hebrew, they'll be connected there. Or
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering. Why were they connected? I got you now.
And it's like even when you read the ancient Hebrew, you won't 9 times out of 10 you won't see the connectors. The connectors are there for us to be able to know how to pronounce it properly. But when you read the documents, like when you read it in Bible Hub, when you look at like the ancient documents, Los Lunas, Decalogue Stone, those type of things, it's not going to have those connectors. You just got to know that that's how you pronounce the Hebrew. All right. All right. So what the brother said was absolutely correct. I-W-P. I-W-P. What does I-W-P mean?
Common kind means flying creature of a bird.
Means bird. Simply put, bird. I-W-P. All right. And then the last one. So we're gonna do it exactly how we just been doing it, right? But what's the first thing you notice about this phrase? Off the rip.
Common kind. So you know it's a preposition because it's more than 2 or 3 characters.
Right.
So the first one is I. So I think it would be D. No.
Either one is correct.
Yeah, common kind.
And then this last part. So we went over it last week, I believe, toward the end of class. This one right here is just a root word, and I'm gonna explain why it has more than 4. It has 4 characters. Shamayim. You're gonna see this word a lot in Genesis as well. Shamayim. Right? Shamayim means what? Shamayim just means heaven or heaven. Right? Heaven. Right? Now the scriptures, when it refers to the heavens, it can either mean the 4th dimension, which where the Most High dwells. We call it the 4th dimension, or it could be talking about space, like outside of this atmosphere, or it could just be talking about the sky, depending on the context. But in this case, it's talking about the sky, the heavens, right? So what we just read was basically it's talking about how the Most High created all the beasts of the field and all the birds that in the heavens, right? So call I-W-P, Hashemayim, all birds the heavens, or all the birds in the heavens. I mean, what's up? But when you translate it, when you translate the Hebrew to English, it's not gonna sound the same. Like I believe in the book of, I can't remember if it's Ezra, the one that's called Sirach, the one that I can't remember, the one in the Apocrypha. But it says that the Hebrew, when you translate the Hebrew into another language, because we're speaking our oppressor's language, but when you translate the Lord's language into an oppressor's language, it doesn't have the same force as in the Hebrew. The Hebrew is a very straightforward in masculine warlike language. When you translate it into English, you know what I mean, it's gonna sound a little. It's gonna lose its, you know, the power that it has in Hebrew. You know what I mean? But so that's all this is translated to. Call I.W.A.P.K ha-Shemayim, all the birds in the heavens. That's all. Simple as that. I believe it's Esdras. Either Esdras or either first or second Esdras. I can't remember. All right, so we'll move on to the next phrase real quick. Right.
The F-point work with you.
Android.
Battery's running low. One here. It's not plugged up. No, the battery running low for the laptop. Let's see. Let's see what I'll do.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. So right here. All right. Again. Okay. So how will we break this down? Walk over here. Which means
Preposition of this.
so where's the
This would be what a preposition at the beginning would be walk.
you got it, which means and, right? And
That'll be a root word though.
not quite, and I'm gonna explain why. This is also a preposition, right? When you see a lot of times, especially when you're dealing with the Most High, what He's doing, or if He's saying something or doing something, you'll see waya, waya, waya. Like in Leviticus 23, waya, waya amor Yahweh al Masham la amor, or waya devor, salaki. You'll see that often. If the Lord is telling you or giving you instructions or doing something, it'll say waya, and he, and he, and he, right? So whenever you see waya, a lot of times you can just assume that that means and he. There's some cases, depending on the context, that it's not. But that's a good place to start. Where as soon as you see waya, is and he. And then that leaves these two characters as your root word. Ba'a just means come, right? Right. So if you, I believe, right, like if you're calling somebody, you say Ba'a, come here. Like if you want somebody to say bye. I mean, all is just a off the rip, because it has 2 or 3 characters. You know that this is just a root word. This just means 2. That's all that means. All. Right.
Common concept.
Yes.
On the word common. Yeah, they put that character in the front. It says, Bob.
Color. Right here.
Oh, I got you. All right. But you're right, I got some. You're really good. I get to see how everybody got different penmanship.
Yeah. I try to write it real deliberate, so it's obvious what it is.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, and then the last part right here, right? Like that. All right. So, say that again. Nah. Well, that ha at the end doesn't belong there. I just put that there. That wasn't there. A lot. All right. So with that being said, what you just said, since I just took that ha off, now what? Take the off. What you said. So you said ha adama instead of adama. Take the off. Ha adama. So instead of ha adama, ha adama. Adom, when we're talking about Adam, this is if you click on the concordance code, it's going to give you Adom, right? It's going to give you Adom, and I'm going to explain why. Not my Bible. Right? Adom is Adam's name, right? Adam is Adam's name. Now, it's his name because his name comes from the word that means dust, right? Like we just broke down earlier. Adamah is dust. His name comes from the word for dust, right? So Ha Adamah, right? You go to concordance code, my triple, but if you go to concordance, it'll tell you this word literally translates to the dust. Ha Adam, the dust. Or if you keep on reading down to the definitions, the different definitions, it'll say lowly man. Because again, we already know Adam was created on the 6th day. Mankind was created, man and women, and all the different, all the different men and women were created, just like the birds was created in different, in the boom. There was more than one created, just like the beasts were created. There was more than one, just like there was more than one fish created. On the 6th day, the Most High, through the angels, created more than one man and woman. And then Adam was the man that the Most High chose to raise up from the dust. So Ha means the, and Adam just means dust. Right. So whenever you see Adam's name in the scriptures, it translates to the dust or a lowly man, right? Or the lowly man, because that's the condition that the Most High raised Adam up from, right? We'll do a couple more, then we're gonna get out of here. Somebody had a question? All right. All right. So, all right, for this one, all right, off the rip, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. So you already know there's something attached to this root word, right? There's something attached to this root word that's going to change, right? So, first thing you want to do off the rip, especially when you're reading, is look for the preposition so you know how to pronounce it, right? So, la means, la is a preposition that means to. All right, so the Most High came to Adam, right? That was the last part that we broke down. Ba'a ha'adamah, or it's like Ba'a ha'adam, right? So the Most High came to Adam and to la ra'a wa. All right. Now, Wath is what? Now remember the context. We're talking about Adam. Right? So what can Wath possibly mean? Based on your notes, based on what we talked about earlier, what could it possibly mean? You got it?
Servile?
What else could it mean? So it could be, I think you said plural, right? It could be plural, could be servile, and what else could it be? Yeah, exactly. So how do you know that it's servile and not plural? Because of the content. Something like that. And then if you click on the concordance code, it'll give you Ra'ah. Ra'ah just means seed. All right. Ra'ah just means seed. All right. So like La Ra'ah Wa. The Most High is going to see. Adam is about to do something for the Most High. So that's why that servile tense is here. Right? And the thing that Adam is about to do for the Most High is he's about to we're gonna find out, right? So this right here, because it only has 2 characters, we know it's a what? A root word. This root word right here is going to be very important, especially if we're going to be using the Hebrew in conversation. All right? How would you pronounce this? Well, that's a, what character is that? A ha. Ha. So we put this is a ma and a ha. And then when you connect it together, you drop this ha sound. So say it again. Ma. That's what it is. Ma. Ma means what? Ma means what? All right. And this gonna be we're gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna give you these I'm gonna give you these question words, because that's gonna be very important for conversational Hebrew. But if you're gonna have a conversation using the language, you know what I mean, a lot of conversations start with questions, right? Who are you? How are you doing? What's your name? When did you get here? When are you leaving? Why did you do this? You know what I mean? Things like that. Who, what, when, where, why. That's how conversations start. So it's important to remember these, right? We're going to go over those question words just briefly, and then we're going to cut out, all right? So Adam is about to do something for the Most High to see. So the Most High came to Adam to see what? Now this last part, right? Off the rip, first thing.
Four more characters.
Four more characters, which means?
Preposition.
Uh-huh.
Root word.
So what
Preposition, that would be yam, which would be
he. So this is what the Most High is about to see. So we got he, that leaves three characters, which means. But before we get there, what'd you say? Say that we have a root.
Which means we have a root word.
That's your root word, right? And what's right here? What character is that?
Wa.
Wa. Next one.
Ra.
Ra. And then Ah. Wa. Ra. Ah. How would you pronounce that? La. You're adding a ya. Wa. Ka. Wa. Quara. Quara. All right. For Ra is fine. It's fine, but since we're just learning, you want to make sure you pronounce that ah sound at the end, because that the last character is a ah. So you have to acknowledge that character, right? And there's no ah sound to drop off at the end of an ah. If you drop the ah sound, you're dropping the character itself. So this would be para. The root word is para, which means what does para mean? Call. So what is the Most High? What is the Most High looking for from Adam? To see what the Most High is looking at Adam to see what he call what? The beast, the animal, the things that he created. Right. So he created all these things. He raised Adam out the dust. Now he's like, all right, name these animals. You know, we call them something. Right. And that's the service that Adam is performing for the Most High. He's naming the animal. You know what I mean? Giving having dominion over. All right, now real quick, we'll go over these question words. Again, like as you're reading the Hebrew, what helps out a lot is just knowing certain words. That's just the uh, that's just straight up and down. That's what helps. You know what I mean? A lot of these words are going to be new to us because you know what I mean the Bible is long. You know, so it's a lot of stories. It's a lot of words in there. So you're not going to know every single word in there. But as you build your vocabulary, you'll start to recognize things. These are what's called sight words. Words that you see often, we use often. Like we went over a couple of days ago, talked about con, yes, la, no, I mean, Baba Shah, please, the water, thank you, ayanda bar, no sweat, or say nothing, say less, things like that. Those are sight words. So if we saw them in the scriptures, we would recognize them because we use them with one another. All right, now if you wanted to start a conversation with a brother in Hebrew, you would need who, what, when, where, why, and how. We just went over what? Right? In the last scripture we just broke down, we just ran into what? Ma. Ma is how you say what. Right? Right. So to start a conversation, that's usually the first thing off the top of your head that you say to somebody. You know what I mean? You see your brother, you say, what's good? You know what I mean? Now, real quick, well, how do you say good? You remember? It was on that list of words that we went over. We was going over those Khan, Ma'ah, Mawakasha, the water, Yonder Bar, all those different words. I believe it was on there. As a matter of fact, I don't think I put it on there. Tawab. Tawab. That's how you say good. No, the water is thinking. Tawab is good. So Salaki, that's on me. I forgot to put it on there. Just add it to your notes. So you want to ask the brother, like we do. You know what I mean? You see a brother, you like, hey, what's good? Matawab. You know what I mean? Matawab. First thing. Now we having a conversation in Hebrew. All right. Next one. Maya. Maya would be who? When? Ma. Ya. Where? Yeah. Why would be mother why? And then how would be ka ma. Right. It's a couple different ways to say how, depending on the context of your question. Kama is it's built off of the word for what, which is ma. You just add a preposition to it. Ka. So ka is as a preposition means what?
Like,
Like. So when you say ka ma, you're saying like what? How? Like what? In what way? Right? Those are going to be your question words. Those are going to be the words that you use to build conversations. So as you develop your vocabulary as you go through these scriptures in Sabbath service and in Lashawan Qadash, all you're doing is just taking these root words out of the scriptures that we read, and then taking them, adding them to your vocabulary, and then using these words. What's up? You got a question?
I was saying about the bar.
No. What, the last one or the?
Yeah,
You writing it backwards or you just
that's
the top?
It look like
Look at this city.
that's a bar.
Oh,
That's
right there.
Right here. That's muck.
Ma?
You said it looked like a buck.
No, I was talking about
No, you think you're right in the,
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
Oh, Sabaki.
that's a bar.
Yeah, I underlined it.
Oh,
I underlined the ka.
oh, I think Ma got on the right side of the, so you get the top one, and the bottom one is the hook on the opposite
Yeah,
side.
you right.
I know,
Yeah, now you
Yeah.
so right. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Let me make
Right?
sure which one is you right.
yeah.
Yeah.
He got me looking through my notes. Dang,
Yeah, I like this. He on point. He on point. He like, hold on now.
That's a new thing on there.
That's a new one. I throw one in there.
Hey.
That's excellent. You caught that though, which means you paying attention to the characters.
You
That's what
ain't
you
saying
want.
that, but you can write it down.
And it's just demonstrate. Like if you got an iPhone, right? You got which one of y'all got an iPhone? Both of them. You got both, or both of y'all Android?
both of the iPhone.
Oh, both iPhone. But you see my phone, right? I was dating my phone earlier. Now you'll look at for example, a Y. Or I'm gonna use both of these examples. Like when we was talking about YAH, you'll see YAH often in the scriptures. YAH, when the Most High is doing something, YAH Debar, YAH Amar, YAH this, that, and the third. It'll be right there. So use that as an example. YAH, right? That's what it'll look like on an iPhone. But if you got an Android, it'll look like this right here. You see what I mean? These are the same characters. They just look slightly different because of penmanship. That's all. Just like if you write in English, let me think of an example. You got, like, for example, the letter A, right? You might see it written like that. You might see it written like this. It's because of penmanship. That's all that is. And neither one of y'all was wrong. He wasn't wrong for pointing it out. He wasn't wrong for not pointing it out. It's just penmanship. You know what I mean? It's just how you write it. So you recognized it because you recognized the Hebrew, and he recognized the difference because he recognized the Hebrew. That's all the same thing. So neither one of y'all was wrong. All right, with that, we're gonna end it right there. I posted the what's it called? The scriptures we're gonna go over during Sabbath service. I posted them in the chat. So it will be in your best interest to go over those characters, or it's like to go over those scriptures. Just look at them, read them, skim over them. Do what we just did tonight. Go through each phrase, look on the concordance code, look at the root, look at how it's different from the phrase that the root is in. You know what I mean? Just look at it, just get acclimated to it, because you might end up reading sooner than you prepared for. You know what I mean? For all brothers. I mean, you're gonna have to, especially as a priest, you're gonna have to come up here and read the Hebrew. You know what I mean? But I mean, you might have to read sooner than you prepare for. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is just prepare. And we got to go through all 49 of these verses. So it's gonna be long if you're not prepared. So prepare. You know what I mean? It's in the chat. It's in the chat. I got the if you need the verses, I can just let you know what we're gonna be looking at. But just prepare. Because Saturday we're gonna be doing it. And if you're not prepared, you're gonna be up here looking crazy. So with that, Salaki, I'll say I imagine you need to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Israel Michael Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Yahweh Matah. So we're going to turn to face the sisters. Give courtesy salute to the sisters. This is Ramah Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Shemar Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh Matah.